up, guys? Welcome back to the Flick Experience with the Hostman here. So, for tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about, our appreciations, which we've all heard of them, is film scores. Yeah, that's right. We love and appreciate all the symphony music and the scores that we've heard and almost on all the movies we've seen. Now, this won't be like a top 10 list or everything because it's hard to choose from, but going to be talking about the film scores that we appreciate the most and some that I would consider that are like geniuses in film scores on a few movies, and some that not just for me, but everyone else loves these scores as well. And yeah, some of these are iconic scores, some of these are like huge scores that are being remembered forever. And some of those scores have they have meaning to us. Those scores will last forever because again, they're iconic and they've been playing on all over and every like music symphony concert and every like single like I guess as you could say in school symphonies or even college symphonies, just anywhere. We've all recognized those themes because they're huge. Like for example, like I want to talk about like how those scores mean everything to us. And one of them is the John Williams famous score, or which is the Jaws theme. As usual, I can't play any of these themes because as it's copyrighted, and you know how YouTube's policies are like total asses on how they always keep this stuff. But we all heard of these themes. I mean, seriously, all of these themes are iconic because we already know what they are. Every time when we watch them on the movies or when we hear them, as soon as we hear like even the opening chords like dun 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 dun, it's like it's iconic because we know, oh, the shark arc from its point of view, it's going to attack the victim and then chop off their freaking legs off. I mean, it's been even parodied by many like other adaptations and entertainment like a lot. Like if any of you guys remember the SpongeBob episode, Clams, where just by the clam being the shark and how their version of the Jaws theme. It sounds so similar to John Williams, but it's still iconic. But you could tell that theme is so iconic because even the SpongeBob people are taking like references from that. So John Williams, man, that guy is so like a legendary iconic like composer of all time. The guy's in his early 90s and he's still making wonderful hit masterpieces. We've all loved this guy from everywhere, from like Star Wars, Superman, Jurassic Park, Saving Private Ryan, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Harry Potter. I mean, the guy can literally do it all. I mean, to me, John Williams is like the Mozart of our generation. Now I know some people have been saying that for years, or some people might compare to other artists all the time. Some people say, no, no, he's not Mozart. Mozart's number one, or no, it's Beethoven. It's like, no, 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 no. I'm not saying he's any of those, but he's on that same level. I mean, think about Mozart and even Beethoven. They are also like famous geniuses and composer, but so is John Williams. I mean, the guy has been doing this since like the early 60s. He's been working with Spielberg since like even towards like the early 70s since the Sugarland Express, which is the first time they started working together. I mean, the guy has such iconic themes. We cannot forget where they're coming from. One of my favorite themes from John Williams is, of course, the Star Wars themes overall. I mean, I literally have the soundtrack from Star Wars Episode 7 and from the first few films, and they're like masterpieces. I really love the pre-equal themes too, especially the Duel of Fate theme. It's such an iconic, like masterful theme. Yeah, I mean, if you remember from the final battle from Episode 1, it's like perfect battle music, even in the video games as well. Oh, sometimes his score is incorporated into the games as well. And of course, I love the Battle of Heroes themes from Episode 3. I really love Luke and Leia's theme from Episode 6 and all. I even like Rey's theme and the sequel trilogies. Yeah, I thought the Rey's theme sounded a lot like what the Star Wars music was like in the original trilogy, and I thought Kylo Ren's theme was like a very darker version compared to Darth Vader's theme. But Darth Vader's theme, I think we can all admit, that is like the best theme of all because he's like the most fucking iconic villain of all time. So, um, anything with Star Wars that John Williams was able to do is a masterful, like like perfect hit. The guy is a genius. And another favorite of mine is definitely the Superman thing. Now, what we saw in like the recent trailers for Superman, it's like that theme can never be like replaced. It's been replicated towards even in other like animation shows and like in other like our own versions of the theme. And I've heard like an epic theme once, the score, and it is iconic. I keep saying the word iconic on many times because, like, what else could I say? It's fantastic. It's terrific. It is superbly like the best superhero theme I ever heard, and I have more others coming up on the way. But the Superman theme, it just sounds so positive and heroic what this guy is able to do. As soon as we hear like the chords, or it's like the first opening chords, especially about the opening sequence of Superman, it like you're literally transported in to what what Superman really means. It's like that's how much we appreciate the scores. And one of the best memories I had about John Williams is that I did see him in concert. He came to town early, and this was like back from like years ago. I'm assuming this was maybe from 2014 or 13. I saw him live and I was blown away. It was like I was watching a genius composer bringing the music to life, and he did it all throughout the list. The only thing he was missing was the Star Wars Duel of Fate scene and the Superman thing, but he did it all. Yeah, Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Jaws, Schindler's List, even but I think parts of the Lincoln theme at the time. And yeah, it was a big deal. And I really loved the ET score as well that he was able to do. It brings such raw emotion to a little bit of melancholy, but at the same time, there's like hopefulness as to the themes as well. Oh, that's how big the scores are famous and how they resonate to us. And like it's personal to us. It's great for thinking whenever you listen to any of those scores. Like if you're ever thinking about something, or if you're ever like, you want to feel something, you would put on that music. And the next, so that's one of the best scores I like. And another best scores I always thought was, sort of a classic noirish type theme is Bernard Herrmann's theme for Taxi Driver. Just listening to the saxophone like solo, it really brings you like the tone of the film of what Martin Scorsese was able to do, bringing Travis Bickle's character, this lonely isolation to where what he's going through the city. It has that noirish vibe, and then you just feel like how he's going through, and like how why he hates the town and why he wants to clean up the scum in the earth. That I always like those noir things because you just feel like you're in the zone. You're in with the characters. You feel what the characters are going through. Oh, and I wish more of noir scores have more of that, not like a jazzy film, but like a very smooth jazz, but a little bit of a depressing kind of a tone. But it's a really, really great piece. And another one that's sort of like not sort of depressing because this is another score that I always think it's another terrific score, but it's been played all the time in many like mixed themes for like battle sequences or for like sporting events, and that is the Requiem for a Dream by Clint Mansell. Now, we've seen the movie. It's depressing as hell because especially but hearing the Requiem for a Dream thing, it's a little bit sounds sort of Amadeus like, but it's like super epic. Just the violins and the scores is bringing like an epic themes to it. It's like I thought Mansell when he created that score, that was probably like best themes for like an epic tragic slash battle cry. I mean, yeah, I mean, if you ever watch YouTube videos and like a bunch of anime battles or like battle sequence of superheroes or even like especially Dragon Ball Z, this thing that kind of theme is always played a lot on in the mix, and even like in sporting events, every time when they do the starting lineup for players, that to me is like that's how iconic it has grown. And this is like a theme from 2000, and it's still like resonates with us almost 25 years later. I also even like the classic themes too from like other films. It's like I always saw Max Steiner's theme from Gone with the Wind and many other films from that era time. It brings not sort of a warm feeling, but it gives you like a hopefulness on what's coming up later to the future. Like I always thought the theme for Gone with the Wind, especially before the end, towards the intermission scene, and the way when Scarlett O'Hara is just bringing that out, delivering her monologue statement, it gives a bright-eyed future to hopefully that brings into the next side, especially towards the closing act of Gone with the Wind, and it has like that great sense of hopefulness looking out into the horizon. And I always saw something about scores from the 30s, the 40s, and the classic like golden age of cinema. Even though the sound quality was very like it was still pretty low, and so like developing its like technology at the time. If you really watch those films and hear the scores, you could tell they put a lot of scores into it at all. Nowadays, is when you watch films, the scores they're kind of like turned down. It's not like all the way, not like raw and crisp sound, even when it's loud. It's always like played in the background, and and you don't even like feel the score. I always like it when the score and the dialogue in movies are like like synchronized, that you get to hear what the characters are feeling emotional about, and that's what Gone with the Wind was able to do when Matt Steiner bringing the characters is like dramatic sequences is and like even horrific sequences it's a perfect and to the moment ones. Max Steiner also composed the original King Kong film, the 1930s film, and I love the dramatic epic score that King Kong was able to do when he first makes the entrance, or when he's first battling the dinosaurs with the log scene. I thought it had a raw, like emotional, monstrous, classic vibe. And okay, I said this many times, especially in the pilot episode, how much I really adored the film King Kong. James Newton Howard, that guy when he did the Peter Jackson's version of 2005. I always underestimated that thing. I recommend you guys would listen to that score. Literally the full old score of the entire film. I love the Kong theme of Peter Jackson's theme, especially the last theme, during Kong's death towards like the end credits. It's a very beautiful melancholic score. But it's up, but at the same time, it gives the score that emotional feeling, because it's kind of a bit of a drama too, with a little bit of romance to it. But James Newton Howard, he literally just brings the score to you, and it just hits you like right into your heart, man. But it's a really great epic theme in what Howard was able to do, what Max Steiner's was supposed to be bringing to the theme. But I also really like the Skull Islander sequence is James Newton Howard was able to like bring like a tribal music score into it, because they're in the jungles and Kong is just running through it. It almost has a little bit of a horrific element. Like I recommend you listen to the theme Kong Runs on the full old soundtrack. It literally feels almost like a tribal horrific soundtrack, like in a chasing sequences. And I thought James Newton Howard did like a perfect, amazing job to it. What I like about Adam scores, I think another scores I really like that not many people talk about, but they should add these kind of scores is in Western films, is that not many people make Westerns these days. And even when they try to make Western themes, it doesn't sound as close than Ennio Morricone himself. The good, the bad, and the ugly theme, as soon as we hear you know, the iconic harmonica sound, like it's like we know where that is. We've seen it in TV adaptations, commercials, parodies, animations. It is such an iconic classic theme. We hear it everywhere we go. We already know who's who on the characters every time when we watch this film, especially like the final like the climactic like final 15 minutes of the film. It's probably like one of the best iconic scores ending of all time. It's like literally if you watch that scene, if any of you that has not seen the good and bad and the ugly in the final battle sequence, I recommend you would listen to that theme too. It is like a the most glorious, beautifully shot, amazing score I've ever seen. It's literally no dialogue, no like no talking. It's just the action shown. Like it speaks louder more than words. It's just Ennio Morricone's score, and I recommend and you look it up. I think it's called the Trio, or where the characters finally reunite and they're about to have a one final duel, and they're just staring at each other. It is like the music is literally the language of the film. Hell, I even give silent films a lot out of credit before the talkies came out at the time. They're bringing the score or the music to life, speaking its language, and it's true. It does speak a language in that film. Ennio Morricone scores like classics. Every time when I hear people say like, "Oh, he's gonna," oh, it sounds a little Ennio Morricone in any Western genre film or any genre. People will immediately know like, Good and Bad and the Ugly, or better yet, Kill Bill. Even though he never did the score because as Tarantino licensed his music for the score, but it's super iconic, and it's such epic, especially the battle sequence. As soon as the first piano chords play, it's like, oh shit's about to go down. It's like amazing. I did recently like it's not one of my personal favorites or anything, but I thought it was underrated, which was the Hateful Eight score, which was his final score before he passed away. Luckily, he won an Oscar for the film, and that was like the only time Tarantino was able to work with Ennio Morricone. So rest in peace for him, though. Next themes I also like is, well, I mean, what can I say? Hey, both of them did superheroes, and both of them were are like classics in the making. Hans Zimmer and Danny Elfman. Think about it. Danny Elfman did the Batman theme, and he also did Spider-Man theme. Hans Zimmer, what can I say? Hans Zimmer, he just does the Dark Knight theme, and of course, well, I wouldn't say a superhero kind, but he also did like Gladiator, and that's like a masterpiece as well. I forgot to mention that maybe I think the Hulk as well, but Hans Zimmer and Danny Elfman, those guys are geniuses. I'm not a huge fan of the Man of Steel thing that Hans Zimmer was able to do, but I could see him with him doing the Dark Knight. It gave like a whole new perspective and like epic adventureness to the Batman theme and the Spider-Man theme. It is probably you can listen to this theme music all the time from Sam Raimi's Spider-Man as perfect motivation. It is I considered one of my favorite superhero themes of all time. It's the Superman theme. And then the Spider-Man theme. Literally, I always love the opening credits of the Spider-Man movies. Every time that score plays, it's like, yes, the responsibility theme. It's like it's such a classic hopefulness of things. It's like all of those music scores that both of these guys would do have like an epic theme to it. Even like as usual, the Dark Knight themes. Well, it's like you could tell this was made for Batman. A symbol for hope. Especially when he fights the bad guys, or if he races time towards anything, especially the tumbler chase in the first film, or like the final battle between him and Ra's al Ghul. It's like it's such like an epic, dramatic, like climactic event that is very bombastic, but it's like it's a very huge like emotional score. Even like Hans Zimmer can also bring like a slow, like relaxed themes to the songs, or sometimes even like happy music, like you could say like The Lion King as well. Oh, it's like the guy can do it all. Hans Zimmer, Danny Elfman, especially even when he works for Tim Burton, like in Beetlejuice, very all bouncy, animated, like cartoonish. It's like those guys, all of those composers with their scores are amazing, and they've always been and appreciated. I mean, we should appreciate those scores. I mean, without them having like the scores for those directors and their movies, then none of those movies would be iconic. They would not exist. I mean, if I was a director myself, again, I don't know who to choose because I have a few favorites of those composers. I might make one of a list of my favorite scores down the road, but it's so hard to choose. But it's like I would need a composer to bring the movie to life. I mean, sure, nowadays people could just license their scores or grab some songs, which I don't mind if people use songs onto the films, and that becomes like the scores, and then it's like okay, no composer, but I'm sure they're paying the royalties. But that's a great thing too. But I also like some original scores too. If I was a director, if I wanted to have a score on my phone, I would get someone original. Maybe have some iconic themes, or it sounds a little bit like this and that of a movie theme. But it's like the music is music. I do like some soundtracks and films that that is not like symphony scores, but it's just all songs though. Like we could all say the Top Gun soundtrack, but from the 1986 version. I like all the songs in that soundtrack. They're the classic songs. It's like a classic 80s party mix. Like you could put this in an 80s party theme, hanging out with your friends or watching Top Gun. It's amazing. I mean, Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone. It's like best song on ever. It's not a one hit wonder, but because Kenny Loggins has made plenty of hits at that time, even to like still now. But anytime when you hear that song, you immediately think Top Gun. That's how big the song is. It's like when you hear the score of John Williams, you think Jaws or Star Wars. Both of them have their like own different takes on music, depending on what the director is and what their move on what they want for the movies. But we appreciate the music. I love the scores. I love of their songs and what they put into, and it's like they're geniuses all the way. That is why for this episode, scores will always keep the scores. We should always look out for these composers at all, and even when they're gone from the face of the work, they might not be here physically, but their music's going to be here, and they're still going to be played even to this day. Same thing with bands or artists too. Their songs are going to be here. Their scores ours are remembered forever. Since like again from Amadeus's time to Beethoven, even from all the way back to like I don't know before or then, their scores are just never going to go away. It's going to be playing the iconic themes over and over again at schools. They should be teaching in bands and marching bands or symphonies. It's the Superman theme than to like Bach themes. No offense, but that's how huge those scores are. So that'll be my take for tonight's episode. Let me know in the comments below on any of my podcast platforms: Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and don't forget it. I'm also on YouTube. Leave your comments down below. Please like and subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at GFB underscore or Hostman. It's on the descriptions on my YouTube page and also on my podcasting platform page. Tell your friends about it. Give it to like movie reviewers. And let me know your thoughts about this video, and let me know your thoughts on what is your favorite movie score. What is your favorite like song from an artist in a film? What is your favorite like composer at all? Let me know down below in the comments on my podcasting platforms or my YouTube page right now. And yeah, let me know what you guys think of it. Let me know if you're fans of any of the scores too, like I am. So as usual, this is the Hostman Gabriel saying to you all, good night, everyone.